Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today. My name is Dick Conley. I'm here with Tom Kelly, and we're with Natural Technologies and BeeSafe. We're going to go over a few things today. We're going to share with you who we are, going to share with you about the network, the BeeSafe products and systems, which I know you're psyched about, what's in it for you. We're going to go over the investment and some next steps. Tom?
Yeah, my name is Tom Kelly. I'm the Vice President of Natural Technologies Incorporated, and as Dick mentioned, he's Dick Conley, and he's the Director of Applicator Development for BeeSafe and Natural Technologies. And when we get started here, it's best to tell you a little bit about who we are, where we've been, and where we're going to go. BeeSafe Lawns is a company that was formed a couple of years ago when my company, Firebelly Organics, which still exists today as a consumer-based product, partnered with a company called Natural Technologies. And the goal was to launch a dealer network of applicators and like-minded companies that use our proprietary technology and products to grow their business. And if you want to get a better idea of some of the details in regards to that, Google Entrepreneur Magazine and their Disruptors issue of 2013, they named BeeSafe as an industry disruptor. And what that means is we're a company that's very successful by doing things differently than what the industry norm is. And check it out. I think you'll learn a little bit more about it. So we're pretty proud of that. Before we get really into the meat of the whole thing, I want to talk about some of our current notable customers, because this is the kind of stuff that I do on a daily basis. Is work with some of our not only our applicators and our dealer network, but some of our bigger customers, and they really offer us some great testimonials and give us some great credibility in terms of what we're trying to do. First, Harvard University, and a lot of you guys will know that Harvard was able to convert the care of the entire campus to chemical-free and organic care about 5 or 6 years ago, and they did a big study and report on it. They came to us 2 years ago and asked us for a little bit of help in terms of some of their inputs, and now we work directly with them. I go down there a couple times a year and work with them, and they use several of our products, so we're pretty psyched about that. Universal Studios down in Orlando, Florida, is if you're going on vacation anytime soon, check out the turf, because you'll see that it's doing pretty well and is a BeeSafe property. Wayne Prudhomme down there, the director of the facilities, decided that he would convert the campus to completely organic, not because somebody told him to do so, but just because he knew it was the right thing to do with so many kids running around, and they used a completely BeeSafe program. Finally, the Portland Sea Dogs is something that I work with. It seems like almost on a daily basis at this point, but they're a new customer in 2013, and if you don't know who the Portland Sea Dogs are, and you probably don't, they're the AA affiliate of the Boston Red Sox, and their stadium, Hadlock Field, is the only, as far as I know, organically maintained professional baseball stadium in the country, and it looks awesome. We've worked real hard to get that place looking its best, and we're pretty psyched about it.
So who is BeeSafe? Where did we come from? Tom shared that a little bit. Essentially what we do is we recruit landscape and lawn care companies around the U.S. to become certified BeeSafe applicators. Currently we have over 70 dealers or 70 applicators over 31 states. We've got a crew of dealer recruit specialists here that are constantly reaching out to lawn care companies and landscape companies like yourself. That's the whole reason you're on the webinar today. Because we're looking for companies that are going to have good synergy with what we're looking to do, companies that are looking to have an organic program, and companies that want to piggyback on a national brand.
And one thing that we're doing is we're pretty aggressive with our recruitment, and if you're on the webinar today, it's because we've focused on your areas being a place where we want to be. And we're able to do that because our existing applicators are very successful. They're able to bring on new customers and successfully treat their lawns. And we've really pinpointed the demographic as to who those customers are going to be. And I'll be honest with you, we started off by thinking that it was going to be more of a niche opportunity, and customers that shop at Whole Foods, and millennials who've gotten out of school and might be first-time home buyers. And that's not the case. We've kind of opened up the demographic to include even that crusty old guy who wants to be out there and every blade of grass in his entire lawn has to be perfect. And I know most of you guys are chuckling right now because every one of you have one of those customers. We can keep him happy with the BeeSafe program. So our demographic has grown from just being a niche market to being an absolute kind of consumer-based market. Anybody with a lawn is a potential BeeSafe customer. And that leads into the industry a little bit. Why haven't some of the bigger players in the industry jumped all over organics, and how are we going to help you beat them to the punch? Well, it's pretty simple, and before we get into those reasons, we should really identify the fact that this industry, and I don't know if you guys know this, but is dominated by 5 companies. 98, maybe even 99% of the entire market share is dominated by TruGreen, Scott's, Lawn Doctor, Weedman, and Spring Green. And TruGreen is by far, and when I say by far, by miles, the biggest lawn care service provider in the country. And they're all struggling a little bit. They haven't been able to adapt to what the consumer base really wants, and the reason for that is because if they were to, they would basically incriminate what they've done all along. So we see it as an incredible opportunity. BeeSafe is going to do the best it can to partner with independent and small to mid-sized companies like you guys to use the BeeSafe brand to really compete with these guys on a national basis. They're unable to adapt, and we're going to take advantage of that. And we expect to be in that top 5 list within just a couple of years.
So let me jump in here, Tom, for a second. I know you guys jumped on today because you really want to learn a lot about the program and the products. And frankly, if we had 5 days to do a webinar, we'd talk all about the products and the program. But we're going to try to do this in under 25 minutes. So we'll brush over it. Tom will talk a little bit about our program and the products and how we tailor them for you. But we also have ways outside of this webinar to get you a heck of a lot more information specifically on the product, the technology, the programs, etc.
Yeah, everybody wants to know and talk about the products and the programs because they are absolutely very different than anything you've ever used before. We do not sell our products to anybody other than authorized applicators. You can't buy them at John Deere. You can't buy them online. These are really proprietary products that we only sell to our applicators. So we really have 2 different programs. One is a completely organic program that is set by standards, USDA standards for agriculture, and my personal choice is really NOFA, the Northeast Organic Farming Association, which has the most strict organic standards of anybody I know. And I should tell you that every product is based on soil biology. We really incorporate soil improving microorganisms into the products themselves. And when we combine that with other inputs, biostimulants, natural sources of macronutrients, even micronutrients, soil inoculants, we've really been able to put together a great organic program that will compete with a chemical program on any level. It's a little bit more expensive, but not a lot more expensive. As you can see, the average price per 1,000 square feet with our organic program is just over $2 per 1,000 square feet. And you can turn that cost over to your customers. We also have what we call right now the Freedom Program, which really opens up that demographic to everybody else. We call it the Freedom Program because it allows the applicator the freedom to occasionally use an herbicide if need be, to occasionally use a product or a fertilizer that has urea in it, and you'll see that's what the 2000 and the 15015 is. That is nitrogen derived from urea, which is not an organic product, but the goal with this Freedom Program is to reduce our input so significantly that with time, and only after a few years, you're essentially going to be transitioning your customers to the organic program without them even knowing it. And that's what we really want to do. So by using these 2 products and programs, you can really attack the market.
So how are you going to stand out? How are you going to be different from your competitors out there in the market? And the Purple Cow, I don't know if you've read this book or done any market research, but it's who writes this book?
This is Seth Godin,
Seth Godin.
And we've used it throughout, but we kind of joke about it at this point.
Yeah, we've been using the analogy of the Purple Cow for several years, and really the purpose of it is, how are you going to stand out? How are you going to be different? Why are your customers going to, look at you and take notice and buy your services as opposed to others? And it really comes down to being able to differentiate yourself, offer something different, and be unique. If you drive by a pasture of cows, and we're from New Hampshire, we've got plenty of cows up here, you're never going to notice a pasture of cows. You drive by them, it's just ordinary. But if you saw a purple cow, it would stand out. You would sit back and you would take notice. And that's what you want your service area, your customers or potential customers to do. You want them to see your services and say, oh man, these guys are different. we should go with them. They've got something that nobody else has.
Yeah, it's very important to be different in today's market with today's competition, guys, and that's what being a BeeSafe applicator is all about. So let's talk real quick about a few things we're going to tell you about as we roll down the line here. What are you going to get as a BeeSafe applicator? Let me name them off, and then we'll go into detail about all of them as we go here. 1, you get access to the BeeSafe Organic Program. 2, you get a protected territory, so you're the only one in the geographical area doing this kind of deal. You get a kickstart package in terms of marketing. You get all kinds of marketing materials. You get access to the branding. You get a BeeSafe website. You get a My Lawn Quote pricing tool, and you come to the Organic Lawn Care Institute for 3 days of pretty intensive training. So take it away, Dick. What do we get with the protected territory?
So protected territory is super important. We've polled our guys that are on board, again, 70 of them or so, and the protected territory is hands down by far the thing they like the most about coming on board. It's not the organics, which was funny because you'd think, Tom, that people were buying in and coming on board because they wanted access to an organic program, which they do. But what they really want is keeping other people away from it. They want to have a unique niche, and giving them a protected territory of up to 125,000 homes or 250 if you're a bigger company with a larger clientele. Territory is super important.
It is. It's it is the most important thing. But other than that, we'll get started with a marketing kickstart package. We call it a kickstart package because, well, for a couple of reasons. We know that marketing is incredibly important. All of our companies are in growth mode. We want them to grow and they want to grow, but there's, no longer do you put an ad in the yellow pages and the phone rings. So we've got an awesome relationship with a company called Lawn Care Marketing Expert. And let's talk a little bit about what you get with them. You get a personal one-on-one marketing makeover with Lawn Care Marketing Expert. That's one-on-one. They're gonna hook you up and tell you what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. You're going to talk about how you can implement a marketing plan every single month. They're going to train you how to position yourself and resell recurring services. As part of your dealer fee, we're going to give you a $1,000 credit with Lawn Care Marketing Experts. So not only are they going to teach you how to market, they're going to be able to do some of it for you. In addition to that, weekly lawn care and marketing tip videos delivered right to your inbox that revolve specifically around BeeSafe. They're going to do a 5 to 7 part video training focusing on marketing fundamentals below, and I won't read them all off. But marketing we take very, very seriously here. In addition to that, you'll get some marketing materials. Obviously, the branding is important. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you need estimates. You need brochures. You need door hangers, direct mail pieces. We work with a company that handles all of our design work, and whether it's these paper products or hats, uniforms, whatever, hoodies, anything that's got the B logo on it and marketing materials, you're going to want to be able to incorporate, and we'll give you a $500 credit with a company we work with to make that happen.
You're going to get access to the BeeSafe branding. You're going to be able to use that BeeSafe logo on really all the marketing tools that you want, whether it's truck wraps, billboards, postcards, etc. All those things that Tom was just talking about. It's not mandatory. We're not a franchise, but a lot of the companies, I would say a majority of them, do piggyback onto the BeeSafe brand. And just to go back to what Tom was saying earlier, when he was talking about True Green and Scott's and Weedman, etc., Tom, the first thing a consumer does is they jump online. And who do they typically go with? They go with somebody they know.
They're going to go with the trusted brand, actually, whether or not they can trust them or not. They're going to go with the known brand, and we know that there's total power in the brand. And you mentioned going online. Well, one thing that we're going to do right off the top is build a website for you guys.
Yeah, we have a great web developer. Some of you guys probably already have a website. I hope you do. But if you don't, we're going to create a website for you, and it's professional. We're going to do local search engine optimization with lead capture. You're going to be able to accept payments right online. We're going to incorporate the My Lawn Quote tool. Tom will talk a little bit more about My Lawn Quote, but it's really the most cutting-edge pricing tool for every lawn care company out there in the U.S., and it's just a tool that everybody should be using.
Let me give you a real quick demo of how this works, because we put a lot of emphasis on using this tool to help you grow your business. We really know that the way marketing especially in our industry, is going is it's very, very changeable. And we need to be able to take advantage of the way society has really moved from a situation where at one point you were, you'd market your service, you'd advertise your service, and you'd go out and you'd meet with somebody, and then you'd discuss what you were going to do. They'd consider it. You might call them back and follow up. We know for a fact now that this is an on-demand society. So we've built My Lawn Quote into our corporate website. We'll also build it into your website as part of the dealer program. Let me show you how this works real quick. A consumer will find you. They'll click on Get a Real-Time Quote. They're going to click on Put in their own address. This is all happening in real time right now. Could be in the middle of the night. You can make sales 24 hours a day. And we're pretty excited about this. We put a lot of emphasis into this using satellite. As soon as they put their address into the program, it's going to take them to a satellite picture of their property. They're going to be able to measure it on their own. I'm going to do it real fast here because I know that we're already running late. But so what a homeowner will do is quickly measure their lawn, get a decent idea of what it is. They're going to put it on here, click All Done, Let's Continue, and based on information that you've preloaded into the back end of your My Lawn Quote account, here comes an estimate with all the information about your particular services with an exact price quote to take care of it. An annual cost, offer a prepaid discount, annual prepaid total. They can go as far as prepaying online right through this system. So we're working on this every single day trying to make it better. We want you to make sales 24 hours a day, and I think that My Lawn Quote and the way we've integrated it into the system is a big deal.
So the Organic Lawn Care Institute, which is our training, the next training is going to be September 9th, 10th, and 11th up here in New Hampshire. Tom, why don't you share with them about the training?
We knew the training was going to be a big deal when we started because we were talking about using programs and methods that are unconventional. Very unconventional. Organics is not a simple product substitution. We talk about, actually look at that picture right there. That's the 5 core principles of the BeeSafe program. Bionutrition, natural sources of NPK, biostimulants, chemical-free pest management, and information and education. So about every month we do a training session of the Organic Lawn Care Institute where new applicators come to Manchester, New Hampshire, and learn all about what we do. And you're probably not surprised to know that we spend a fair amount of time on marketing and operations. But we've taken this to the next level. The Organic Lawn Care Institute now is a licensed and certified institute of higher education and vocational learning in the state of New Hampshire. It's not just a deal where we do some training sessions. We're a licensed vocational school, which is a big deal. Everybody loves it. We have an awesome time. We enjoy it. Everybody learns a lot. And the attendance at the Organic Lawn Care Institute, while not a requirement, is something that we absolutely encourage you to take advantage of.
Yeah, Tom. And a lot of people ask, why don't you sell the product to the John Deeres and what have you, and let everybody have access to it? And one of the reasons is the training and utilizing the product and the system that Tom and his guys here developed exactly as it was laid out. Because if we were to put it on the store shelves and people were going in and buying product here and maybe some of this and skipping this or skipping that, it wouldn't work. And our brand would take a hit. So we want to make sure that everybody that has access to the product is going to apply it the right way.
Yeah, a good way to talk about that is basically in an agronomic sense or in a product sense, everything you do is based on what you did the previous time and what you're going to do next. So most of these products don't operate well on a freestanding basis. It's all a program approach. It's not just a product approach, it's a program approach.
Oh, the investment. Everybody's been waiting on this one.
Yep.
So we have 2 different packages that we offer, and virtually, I would say 90% of everybody that comes on board qualifies for the $14,900 package number 1. With that package, you're going to get everything that we've already talked about, everything that you see listed below with the bullet points, and up to 125,000 households. We've had a few companies come on board that did pay the $19.9 because they did get a much larger territory. We've had some guys have larger territories even above and beyond the $250 because it was warranted. They were much bigger. They had several thousand clients already built in. It made sense that they'd have a bigger territory. But $14.9, that's a great deal for everything that we've already talked about and everything you see below there. The next steps. You've been on the webinar. You're listening to us. You've talked to a few of the guys here. What we're going to do next is we're going to get you an itemized proposal. I know you can't see it all that well here on the screen, but it's on the left. It's going to itemize everything that we've talked about here on the webinar today to give you a hard copy visual of what you'll be getting. We also built a due diligence website, which will get you an ID and a password to. This website is hands down probably an area that you want to spend hours on if you are considering coming on board to the network. Tons of information about the product, technical information, white pages, references. I would encourage everybody to reach out to a handful of references, and we're not going to cherry pick them for you. Call any one of our dealers on board. Would encourage you to get some real feedback from people that have gone through the process like you have.
So that's pretty much a wrap here, guys, and we'll talk a little bit about what your next steps are in a moment. But I want to bring something up here because I've worked in the lawn care industry my entire life, and this is officially my 20th year in it after I started right after college. And I think there's a particular quote that resonates very, very closely to me, and I think to probably lots of you guys on the webinar today. And it's a quote from Dropbox CEO Drew Houston. He gave a commencement speech at MIT just this year. Dropbox is a service that some of you guys probably use. It's a cloud-based system. And the quote goes like this. He says, "I was going to say work on what you love, but that's not really it. When I think about the happiest and most successful people I know, they don't just love what they do. They're obsessed with solving something that matters to them." And sometimes the green industry and the lawn and landscape industry gets maybe a little bit of a bad rap because of some perceptions that may not potentially be true, but in some cases they are true, and it's not necessarily the most exciting industry to be involved with. And for those of you who have made a career, a life, and a living out of doing it, since you're on this webinar at this point, you're probably pretty independent and doing all right, looking for an opportunity to be better. And bringing on the BeeSafe program is just that. It's going to totally differentiate you and maybe add a little bit more meaning to your career, a little bit more meaning to what you do with your life than just being a member of the green industry and trying to grow your business. I think that doing well by doing good is certainly important, especially in our industry.
So again, we've already gone over the next steps, but we're going to open it up for Q&A here in just a moment. I'm going to keep this slide on the screen for you so you can get an idea of what our next steps are, and you can copy down some phone numbers if you want to reach out to us. Also, I mentioned earlier that our next training is September 9th, 10th, and 11th up here in New Hampshire. You're going to get everything that we've already talked about on the webinar, but we're also going to throw in an iPad. If you sign up by the end of August, it's just our little way of saying, thank you, and let's get some new companies here on board and get them to training. We are going to load this iPad up with everything BeeSafe you can think of. Our product material, manuals that you're going to get from training, the My Lawn Quote pricing tool is going to be loaded up on there for you. Anything that you encounter from a lawn care obstacle, we're going to have a solution loaded on this iPad for you. So wherever you go, you just have to log in, power it up, and grab the information you're looking for.
The main thing is marketing there, Dick. I'll keep going back to that all the time. You want all the right ways to grow your business.
So, all right, we appreciate you jumping on today. We've got a lot of questions here, so we're going to start reading them and answering them in order.
Yeah, if you guys want, for those who haven't put questions in, type them into the console of the GoToWebinar box on your screen. We're not going to unmute the call. When we have more than a couple people on, it will create feedback. So let's go ahead and take some of those questions.